Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, the drivers of the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Cup Series decided to trade in some of their vintage, some of their history, some of the classic, the prestige of Daytona. They're turning it in for some of that new. They need a new track to drive on this week. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Iowa. It's the new release on the iRacing official service, and I can't wait to see what these drivers have in store for us tonight. My name is Mac Nelson, familiar voice here in the booth, and we have a little bit of technical difficulties with our timing tower tonight. I do so dearly apologize for all of that, but what that bottom right graphic was going to tell you is that my name is Mac Nelson. I will be on your producer and comms tonight, along with my brand new broadcast partner here. It's our first time working together, Mr. Adam Glatfelter. Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Mac. How are we feeling tonight about this 175 lap race here at Iowa?
I think it's going to be really exciting. You know, these drivers of the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Cup Series, they put on one heck of a show last week at Daytona. So I'm interested to see what exactly they got cooking. I know they've got some sort of strategy forming here tonight. And I think it's going to be a very highly competitive and, you know, highly documented race.
Absolutely, Mac. Absolutely. You know, the thing you got to worry about here is not only pit strategy, saving those tires here in the next gen, because these things get wild with this new asphalt. So they definitely got to pay attention and be smart with the, you know, the choices of pushing or saving to be able to make it here and move up through the field.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, I 100% agree with you. They've got to be very cautious around this track. It's not a very big track, but next week we do go to my home track, Kentucky. It's a lost art in the NASCAR scene. We'll see if they can bring it back to glory next week. Kentucky's a fun track. It's one of the more fun tracks on the official service, in my opinion, as well.
I couldn't agree more. Why can't we just go ahead and pack it up? Let's move down to Kentucky right now. Let's skip Iowa. I just love Kentucky. No matter what car you're in, it's a fun race.
Yeah, I agree. And it's looking like we're going to make a good duo if we're agreeing on Kentucky being a good track here tonight. But before we hop into this race, we need to go over the starting grid for you guys. On pole is going to be Nate Lesko. Brad Harris is going to be outside row number 1. Row number 2 is going to be GT Irizarry with James McRae in P4. I tell you what, we're going to go a different route because of the technical difficulties here tonight. I apologize. We're going to go this route with it. Row number 3 is going to be Gary Braylon and Michael Peden. Row number 4, Casey Gross, with P8 being Brandon McLaughlin. Row number 5 is going to be John Smith. part of Nap Daddy Racing. Row 10, P10, Scott Matthews. Row number 6 is going to be Travis Everett and Scott Broker. Inside of row number 7, going to be John Oliverio and Jordan Baumgardner. The Portuguese driver, Jonathan Pereira, is going to be in P15 with Johnny Thunders in P16. Joe Bonner, part of LNG Power Sports, going to be in P17 with Thomas McLaughlin in P18. Cody Adams, part of JC Esports, in P19. Chris Perry in P20. Jumping back, P21 is going to be Justin Kaus with P22. Blake Cannon. Row number 12, Brandon Lopez with Adolfo Castillo on his outside. P25, Kyler Adams. P26 is going to be Billy Jordan. Chris Toppings, the Quack Pack Racing driver, is button heads with Chad Lancaster. Again, we saw it at Daytona. This time it's going to be at the back of the grid. The 02 is going to start in P28. We've got a full grid, or not full, but almost full grid here tonight. It's going to be very, very special, Adam. Here at Iowa, what are your key kind of takeaways? How do you thrive at a racetrack like Iowa?
Oh, you've got to save early. You've got to save early. Let the grip get down in multiple lanes. Just save as much as you can for long runs pace.
Well, let's see if Nate Lesko can do exactly that. We are green flag running here at Iowa. And what an incredible opening lap it was from our 20 Nesquik machine of Nate Lesko. One down, 174 to go, but GT Irizarry not wanting that to be the result here tonight. He has got something to prove. Last season didn't go exactly his way, hoping to get something better done this season.
Yeah, it looks like GT's got some pretty good pace here early on as he's pretty much pacing Nate Lesko here, nose to tail, going down into turn 1.
Yeah, looking to make it a very, very tough battle. We see it at almost every single track we go to here in the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Series. Nate Lesko loves the short runs. It's the longer stints that he sort of has a little bit of an issue with, but as long as the race stays in short stints, which, let's be honest, Adam, is kind of the norm here on the iRacing official service, unfortunately. But if he can stay in the short and these cautions keep coming out, Nate Lesko might put on a dominating performance here tonight.
Yeah, you know, if these guys could get spread out here, which looks like they're doing, I mean, they're getting figured out going single file here. We might see some green flag runs, green flag pit stops tonight.
Yeah, we very well might, as the number 77 Quantum Motorsports driver of Casey Gross there, looking to try to get it done on the hard side of Brad Harris. It's oh so difficult to get the pace needed to overtake around the outside at almost every single NASCAR track on the calendar. But here also at the New Iowa, I can't imagine it'd be very much easier.
Oh no, Casey Groves having a hard time here, and especially coming out of turn 4, you've got to be very careful. The pretty much the wall comes back down at you, and then you're getting in throttle at such a weird angle that the car could get out from underneath you there in the rear.
Yeah, and that's something we definitely don't want to see. That's something these drivers definitely do not want to experience, because when you're somewhere at Iowa, like you said, if we can get some green flag laps in, it's going to be very, very crucial that these drivers save enough of their stuff to go those long stints.
Oh yeah, he's still trying to make that pass up, as we've got the 24 back here of Michael Peden and John Smith battling here.
Yeah, Michael Peden and John Smith, they are no strangers on the track. You know the battle that happened at Charlotte between these two drivers. John Smith trading in his normal livery as there's a Quantum Motorsports driver.
Oh,
And cars are stopped on the track. We are going to go yellow. It looks like Casey Gross, Justin Cow, Scott Broker, maybe the ones involved. We'll go back and take a look, as it looks like Casey Gross might have just exactly what you said might have happened. Did in fact happen. We'll go take another look at that. Oh, and gets collected by the number 22. Oh my goodness.
just get destroyed and in the door right there. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of damage. I'm not sure if they have any fast repairs tonight or not.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can get back here with the battle.
I do believe they have a quick repair they can use. I think it was seen at Daytona come into play. I'm not entirely sure. There might have been manual damage repair, but I'm almost certain there is one quick repair to be used.
Well, not the time to use it here at lap 10 of 175, Mac.
Yeah,
It's kind of early to use a fast repair.
yeah, it's definitely not ideal. I mean, this is going to be a long race. If you thought 65 laps at Daytona was a long race, I mean, 175 here at Iowa. They're shorter laps, sure, but definitely more mentally taxing on the driver. Because at Daytona, you're just always on the loud pedal, and you just got to make sure you don't run into the back of anybody. But here, you've got to set your car properly. You've got to get on the brakes. You've got to think about tire strategy. It's definitely a way more taxing race to go out here and try to win a race at Iowa.
Yes, sir, it is. I mean, you've got to be patient the entire time until about the last 10 laps or so, but you've got to be patient. Just let the cars come to you. Let them back up here from pushing too hard. That's the key here at Iowa.
Yeah, and Nate Lesko is going to be someone who is very familiar with that. Also, Brandon McLaughlin in the 81 Ford Mustang here tonight. Unfortunately, got the Bills helmet on. He won't be watching any more of them this NFL season, but maybe we can watch Brandon McLaughlin pick up a race win here in the Tobacco Road Next Gen Cup Series. He is someone who is always flirting with the front, and I do believe he is a past Tobacco Road Sim Racing race winner before I got on the scene in the last few weeks with my good man Rob Campbell and Emmett Crow. So Brandon McLaughlin, not exactly a stranger when it comes to these top tier, podium results. He needs a big one here tonight. Also, in the topic of needing a big one, Travis Everett in the number 13. He was fighting for a championship last year. He has not got off to as hot of a start as I'm sure he would have wanted, but it is a 20-week calendar this season. He's got plenty of time to get stuff going, but tonight needs to be a good start.
Yeah, I mean, it's only race 2 of the season, correct?
Yes, we are
started out at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at Iowa. So he's got plenty of time, and he's running 12th right now. I mean, he's had pace this whole race so far, so curious to see if he can get up there. I don't think he'll have a problem getting up there inside the top 5.
Yeah, one of the top I-rating drivers. I know I-rating is kind of a mysterious, it's a controversial number, especially when you go into someone who only league races, but of the drivers, he is one of the highest I ratings in the race right now. So if not expected from everyone else, I know he expects it from himself. So hopefully he can get something of a good result here and get his season on the right foot. iRacing official pace car pulling in. Nate Lesko will have the button once more to send the dogs around for a second time. We are green, 163 laps to go. James McRae looked like he wanted to take a little bit of a peek inside on that number 14 of GT Irizarry, but Nate Lesko in his number 20 Toyota Camry trying to
Looks
extend
like we got
this
a battle.
lead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mac. Yeah, looks like we got a battle going on right here between Peden and Lopez. Or no, that's who's that? The 81, Brandon McLaughlin and Brandon Lopez.
Yes, sir. Yes, Brandon McLaughlin in that 81 has a very good run on the number 27 Cinemaru car of James McRae. Brandon Lopez, another driver who had a very good outing at Daytona, could not string it together at the end, although he was very, very pivotal in deciding the win. Now here, a week removed, can he get it done on his own here at Iowa? James McRae and Brandon McLaughlin side by side. It's the 27 and the 81. A little bit more pace around the outside has Brandon McLaughlin, but the inside line of James McRae, it's a shorter distance. It's going to be an easier time for him.
Looks like they got some lap traffic there to contest with here. And, yeah, the 81 keeps the position.
Yeah, he does keep it for now, and that 22 belongs to Mr. Bonner, owner of LNG's Power Wash. You can look in the top right of your screen throughout the night. We'll be flashing that graphic, so big shout out to LNG's Power Washing for hopping on board. If you need his business card, there you go in the top right of your screen. Screenshot it, take a picture of your camera or of your TV, like Edge and Christian used to say back in the early 2000s, WWF, 5-second flash photography, and it's gone just like that. But don't worry, we'll flash it back up as the night goes on. James McRae in a little bit of an imaginary battle here with the 22 of Bonner. It's not for position, although James McRae would feel a whole lot better if that car was not taped to his outside.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a heck of a time trying to get by him here, and it's actually slowed him up and letting these other guys just kind of pull away, the top four.
Yeah, the golden rule of battling on a racetrack. Just know if you go to battle someone, you are slowing yourself down. Expect the guys behind you to catch up. Speaking of catch up, GT Irizarry is doing just that on our leader, Nate Lesko.
Nose to tail coming out of turn 4 here. Looks like GT Irizarry, man, he's got some pace for sure. He's definitely got some pace against Nate Lesko.
Yeah, he for sure does. He's someone who hasn't really broken into that top echelon of, you know, being a top 3 car every single race. But with a new season upon us, can he break into that mold? Can he become a main event talent here in the Tobacco Road roster? We'll have to see. He's going around the outside. He's going to skim the outside wall.
Looks like he got into the throttle a little bit too early there. Push tight. You definitely don't want to do that early on these tires. And you can see he actually loses ground because of that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's something that I was going to point out as well if you didn't. He had that little micro mistake coming out of turn number 4, and it cost him a good 10th, maybe a 10th and a half. But he has reeled it back in. I mean, he has got some flat-out pace in that Mustang.
Yeah, if I was Nate Lesko, I would not be looking in my mirror. I'd just be focused on consistent lap times, not over pushing. Make sure you're rolling the center, not deep diving down into turn 1 and 2, because that one right there, that'll really hurt your fronts. And then, you know, make sure you're nice and smooth getting on the throttle coming out of 4, because that will hurt your rears. If he does that, I think he's going to be just fine against GT.
Moving to the back, we've got a 3-way battle here. This is for 9th place. It's Brad Harris, Chad Lancaster, and Scott Matthews. Just a lap prior, this 3 was flipped. It ran Matthews, Lancaster, Harris. Now it runs Harris, Lancaster, Matthews. So these 3 matching each other. Travis Everett is unfortunately being caught by Brad Harris, who is on a complete run right now. He has made up 3 positions in the last 6 corners. And Brad Harris, that Quack Pack Racing driver, getting something done here early.
Yeah, Brad Harris currently the fastest on track right now, Mac. He is very fast. I mean, he's running 23 sevens. Everybody else 24 O's to 24 ones. So he's getting up through the field early. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he took 4 tires there under that pit stop.
Yeah, there's a very good chance he did. I agree with that. That Camaro is looking to be on a rail right now as he catches up to the 21 Mustang of Cody Adams. But our biggest mover of the first 30 laps of this race is going to be the 5 Red Bull car of Brandon Lopez. He started this race in P23. He has moved his way all the way up to P4, up 19 spots. So what a performance there from him.
Oh, yeah, that's good early run pace right there. And, you know, looks like some other people may have went down pits, and he kind of leapfrogged them. But, yeah, great strategy call here from Lopez early to get up there and get away from that danger, all that traffic back there in mid-pack.
Ooh, Michael Peden and James McRae, they're having a little bit of a scuffle there inside of turn number 4. And we have a yellow flag out. As I'm not entirely sure what happened. Timing Tower is reporting no incidents, no crashes. So there's a very good chance as we'll head up to the Racer Nexus blimp here. We'll see if we can scan the field and see anything that might have happened.
Looks like it may have been Scott Broker there in the 3. Looks like he jumped to the pits there.
We'll go back and take a look. I'm not entirely sure why it is on the nose every time, but try to get that fixed. And yeah, it might have just been the car moving around the track too slowly, maybe. Deemed it was yellow worthy. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, that's the only thing I saw on track was the slowness coming from Scott Broker. That may have just thrown a false yellow.
Yeah, we've got drivers coming in. Lesko, Harris, Irizarry, Everett, Peden, McLaughlin. Whole bunch of drivers, a whole gaggle of drivers, if you will, inside of the pit lane. Castillo as well, Adams, Jordan, Toppings, league owner Chris Toppings, by the way. Big shout out to Chris Toppings for everything he does for the league. And on behalf of Racer Nexus Broadcasting, we appreciate the loyalty. And it's always a fun time calling the Tobacco Road, especially their Next Gen Cup Series. It's the only Tobacco Road series that I have called. However, it's been a fun time every single week. These drivers are hungry. They're clean, they're respectful. That is all you can ask for at the end of the day. We are all just men and women who are obsessed over a racing simulator. That's all it is at the end of the day.
That's right. Looks like we got some cars that stayed out there. Looks like 5 of them there. James McRae is going to have the lead here, taking him to the green flag with Kyler Adams next to him here. Then you got Chad Lancaster, John Smith, and Travis Everett all stayed out here on older tires.
Yeah, very, very interesting to see. Obviously, they're going to have their spots taken from them pretty quick by these drivers, but we'll have to see just how quick it really does take them. James McRae in the Cinema Roll car, number 27. It took us way too long last week, Adam, to figure out what he actually had on that car, so that's why I'm very proud to announce that we did end up figuring it out. It is Cinema Roll.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I love those.
I've actually never had one. I have no idea what it is. as we get set here to go. We are on lap 35. We'll be starting lap 36 once we go green. These drivers have only made it through about a fifth of the race here, so they will have to be very, very cautious about what they do next. The jitters have gotten out, but that also means the aggression is starting to set in. How will the grid be in 50 laps time? I don't think anyone here knows. James McRae is on the gas. We are green here at Iowa.
Fantastic jump from James McRae. I mean, look at this. He's got about a 10 to 12 car length lead just from the front stretch. But once these tires kick in from these guys back there in the back, I think they're going to leapfrog these 5 guys that did not pit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's why James McRae went for the jump on his start. He went as early as he could because he knows it's only a matter of time before these fresh tire guys chase him down. We've already got one guy, GT Irizarry, who has broke into that top 5 on the start. He's looking very, very good. Nate Lesko, Brendan McLaughlin back here, exchanging positions. The 9 and 24 towards the back of your screen. They are going to share left rear and right front contact. But right now, Adam, they're keeping it nice and smooth and sweet.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say sweet. Sweet's not the word I'd use there, Mac. It's chaos. It's chaos back here at about 10th place. You just have no idea. There's a lot of shuffling going on right here. A lot of jostling for position and jostling for lane choice here. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, the 38, the Portuguese driver, Jonathan Pereira, he has been in a shuffle of positions with the 24 of Michael Peden. Jonathan Pereira rocking that new livery for his number 38 Camaro. Looking to get things done here in the Tobacco Road Next Gen Cup Series. Michael Peden now battling with Brad Harris, and Brad Harris is someone who you expect to see here towards the front based on the pace he showed us early in the race. Would you say that's a fair assessment, Adam?
You better believe it. You better believe it. Yeah, he's got really good pace here.
Yeah, looking really, really good in that almost lightning electric blue number 9. That Quack Pack Racing driver. Currently sitting in P11, hoping to get things done. He's got the pace for it, and someone else on this grid who unfortunately has fallen position since we last checked in on him. But GT Irizarry, he is now down to 8th. He was in 3rd there for a very short period. Not entirely sure what happened to him. He didn't go off track. He's just been losing positions. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that number 14 Mustang.
Well, you got Cody Adams looking low here on him. Just GT just doesn't seem to have the pace here as Cody goes up the track just a little bit, forces GT to move up, and yeah, Adams takes the spot up into 6th.
Yeah, GT Irizarry, I'm not entirely sure. He's gonna get into a little bit of a scuffle with the 0-2 of Chad Lancaster there. Lancaster going to hit that white wall, going to send sparks. The 47 Chick-fil-A car. John Smith battling now, as well as Chad Lancaster. Of course, you've got Jonathan Pereira, who is wanting to insert his name into this conversation, but cannot quite find an entry yet. But here he comes off of turn number 4. As we pass the flag, he's got a little bit of a run. He might take a look into the inside of the 0-2 of Lancaster. Lancaster's going to close that door. Jonathan Pereira just has nowhere to go. Now Brad Harris is starting to bully him up off the track. So not the fortunate way to go, and kind of a nightmare zone for Jonathan Pereira right now.
Yeah, GT Irizarry, he's really struggling right now. I mean, the car looks really tight, so you may have some damage here as he's battling with, who is that there on the inside?
John Smith and the Chick-fil-A 47, yeah. Yeah, these guys are
He just
side by
cannot
side.
he cannot get the throttle down, and just has no go power whatsoever.
Yeah, and to my understanding, Adam, you're more experienced with the oval stuff than I am. For GT Irizarry, he's off that, optimal racing line. Is he burning up more of his tires than, let's say, John Smith, who's on the inside of him because he's on that outside?
Oh, absolutely. He is burning that right front to a crisp right now, and coming out of turn 4 here, he's killing the right rear because he's having to, get into the throttle a little bit more because that high line is a little straighter, but he's trying to get into the throttle earlier than John Smith, and it's just trying to kick that rear of that car out.
Yeah, so unfortunately for GT Irizarry, he's not going to be able to get that move to stick. He has to not only burn all of that tread off of his tires, but he's also not going to get the position for it. He's done it all in vain. Nothing has gone his way. And with that battle not going his way, I feel like the positions are just going to start dropping because he's on exponentially more worn tires than the people who have been sticking it on the bottom.
Right, yeah, they're definitely overheated, just by him trying to keep the positions he has. So yeah, I think he's going to continue to drop down to at least 12th, 13th, 14th place. I mean, they're stacked up behind him here as Piera and Harris are battling here. They're held up by GT.
Yeah, and another group of drivers that are held up right now, Jordan Baumgartner and Chris Toppings. They've been trying to pass the number 69 Quantum Motorsports driver, Adolfo Castillo from San Juan, Texas. They've been trying to pass him. Unfortunately, a little bit of scrap right before we got to them on camera sent them back a little ways, but Jordan Baumgartner and Chris Toppings were both on the heels of Adolfo Castillo. Big shuffle going on between John Smith.
Looks like we had a problem here with one of the cars. Yeah, the 34 of Chris Perry come up in front of GT Irizarry, and yeah, got spun out there into that grass coming out of turn 4.
Oh, wow. Brad Harris also going off track. Yeah, 34 of Chris Perry. It's just going to be a reaction to exactly what you just said. Yeah, Chris Perry getting a little spun in that Carolina Panthers livery. That number 4 got a little bit weary, and as a result, Brad Harris had to go off track. We stay green, and Nate Lesko in the Nesquick 20 is still out to a 7/10 of a second lead over the number 5 of Brandon Lopez. But Brandon Lopez in second place, up 21 positions. I mean, the first half of this race, besides Nate Lesko's dominance, has been all Brandon Lopez.
Yes, it has. Yeah, he went down and pitted right as they were taking the 1 to go to get some fresh tires, and he hadn't looked back. I mean, he started 23rd up to second. Man, that's quite a feat there coming out of Brandon Lopez. I think it's going to be just a few laps here before he's actually going to catch Nate Lesko. They're swapping faster times back and forth right now, so we'll see if this Raleigh, North Carolina driver can get it done.
Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina versus Queen Creek, Arizona. It's the East versus the West here as they do battle here at Iowa. Brand new Iowa, part of the iRacing official service. Was it redesigned or rescanned? I'm not entirely sure.
Rescanned. Yeah, it was rescanned.
Yeah, okay, rescanned. I figured that was probably what it was, but yeah, a rescan of the track here at Iowa, so going to be fully up to date with how it feels currently, and how John Smith feels has got to be not very good. He's been in a battle that has taken multiple laps 3 times this race, and he has lost out on all of them. Latest guy to do it is the guy in front of him, James McRae, in the cinema roll. 27. He gets that position done and dusted. John Smith still up 3 spots, which is good because he was in 3rd at one point. So the fact that he got from 9th to 3rd that quick is pretty good. But unfortunately, the pace for the 47 car starting to fall off just a tiny bit.
Yeah, John Smith not having the late pace here as he had before. Oh, as we got a caution out now.
Yeah, caution flag is out.
Looks like it's for a stage.
That might be. I was not made aware of any stages we'd be doing here in the Tobacco Road Racing Series, but it very well could. I mean, it was on lap 60, and I'm looking at my timing tower. There was no incident reported, no crash reported, so you very well might be correct. We'll try to scan in the Racer Nexus blimp again, and from what I'm seeing, I think maybe that's right. We might just have some sort of a stage situation going on. I'll try to skim the rules again. As of right now, that's the best reasoning I've heard. So that's the one we'll go with. Because I am skimming through. I don't see any sort of damage. I don't see... And it's funny how the last one occurred when somebody was pulling into pit roads. As you see everybody coming into pit. So it makes me wonder because there was somebody... Yes, Justin Kaus pitted. And then immediately the yellow flag came out. So I wonder if it's maybe a little bit of a bug, maybe a little bit of a service bug that we have going on with the new Iowa. I mean, we're 6 weeks in, so surely not, but crazier things have happened, I assume. So, you know, not sure. Once again, we don't really know why the yellow flag came out. Mr. Adam had a good idea that it might be for a stage. Could very well be.
Yeah, it showed that race control had thrown the caution, so I had just assumed that it was for a stage because I didn't get any alerts or anything or see anyone getting sideways on the track. So, yeah, definitely could have been a stage.
Yeah, we'll take this time while we're yellow. Throw a huge shout out to TrackCams22.com for all of the car and track cameras that you see here tonight and on all of the Racer Nexus broadcasts that you may tune into in the future. We also want to give a big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. You can go shop there for all of your sim racing needs, whether it's wheelbases, wheel rims, pedals, DDUs, monitors, chassis. It does not matter. You can go to them. They can hook you up. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off. It'd mean a lot, and it would support us very, very much. So, we're 64 laps in. We're not exactly halfway, but we're close. We haven't seen a single arrow. We haven't seen a single jab, not a single uppercut. Nothing pierced this armor of Nate Lesko. So, Adam, what's he got to do to remain this just almost perfect driver?
Just got to keep doing what he's doing, being nice and smooth on his throttle inputs. I mean, he's got a great line. And another thing, you can't look in your mirror. That right there is the big killer here at Iowa. Watching the guy doing what he's doing back there trying to catch you, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, so as the pace car pulls off, we'll see if Nate Lesko thought about any of that you said. Big contact between what I believe was a 77, or 27, I'm sorry, and 5. So very, very big contact. To start us off, we are green, though. We have not gone yellow. So do not fear. We'll get a big look at how these cars take the track here at Iowa. Let's crank it up. So James McRae taken to the street here, or the street surface, I should say, here at Iowa. Out of Jacksonville, this driver. He's been very, very impressive in the races that I've seen him in. Unfortunately, he hasn't gathered somewhat of a dominating performance in the weeks that I have saw him. He's had flashes of greatness. Will we see something dominant here tonight? We do have unfortunate news, though, as I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but Nate Lesko has dropped all the way to P10.
Yeah, I've been watching it from the restart. Looks like Brandon Lopez took the lead, then James McRae took it from him, and looks like Nate Lesko got into someone here, which made him lose a bunch of momentum, and they were just freight training him on the bottom. Just could not get the car to rotate on that top side and just kept losing position. So maybe he'll get back in the game here, settle in. He's got a gap between him. Just get right back up there, get back into the battle.
Yeah, unfortunately, at a track like Iowa, if you get pinned to that top side, until you can find your way back down into that optimal bottom line, you're going to lose positions. Brandon Lopez now trying to chase down James McRae, but Michael Pedon's going to have a little bit of a look down on the inside. GT Irizarry there as well. He's been a nuisance to these drivers all night. And as we ring on to halfway done with this race, I'm sure that problem is not going to go anywhere if you are the likes of Michael Pedon or Brandon Lopez.
Yep, Michael Pedon didn't have a good turn that time. Let GT Irizarry get to him here, give him the bump. But yeah, we'll see. GT looking good this run, as he wasn't looking good the previous run. So now he's back up there in fourth, and I think it's going to be a matter of a lap or two before he gets around Michael Pedon.
Yeah, GT Irizarry with a very, very fast car under him here with that number 14 Ford Mustang. He's got the pace, he's got the lap times, and now he's got the tires. Everyone on the grid here on equal footing. So it's going to be a straight shootout for these guys that want to try to elevate themselves up to the front. Now, there is a very decent chance that we have ourselves another caution. You know how it is, Adam. The cautions breed the cautions. The chaos breeds the chaos. So, with what you've seen so far during this race, what exactly would be your strategy when it comes to tire consumption? Do you use up expecting a caution, or do you save?
You definitely save. You've got to save. With this field being the size it is and the competition being the way it is, you definitely got to save. Whether you give up positions or not, that doesn't matter about giving the positions up. Don't let them dictate your race. You drive the track, save the stuff, hope for maybe a late race caution. Then you're going to have some equipment to put on in pit road to kind of leapfrog and get back up there. But I definitely would not be pushing still this early in the race.
Yeah, we're down to 100 laps to go. We're only on lap 76 of 175, so we still have a long way yet to go. GT Irizarry, I'm sure that's being echoed if he has any sort of a crew chief or spotter with him. If not, I'm sure it's echoing in his thoughts. He knows that all this pace, all this persona, all of this aura that he is gathering from having a very, very fast car could go out the window if he does not plan for the end game. So he has pulled back off of this car just a little bit, and You know, as it seems right now, if he can keep it tucked behind the 24 of Michael Peden, he might put himself in a better spot long term.
Yeah, I mean, more or less. I mean, he can't be directly behind him. That's going to make the car tight. He's going to have to put a little bit more wheel input into it, which is going to make the tires heat up a little bit more. He needs to kind of get back off that car just a little bit. I think he's following a little bit too closely. I mean, I'm no pro at the next gen stuff, but I do understand how the aero works. But his lap times aren't, well, they're as fast as the guys in front of him here, but how long can he keep that up?
Yeah, like you said, the dirty air is going to play a factor. It almost always does. Meanwhile, moving back to 10th place, this is going to be a battle for P8. Cody Adams, Scott Matthews, Travis Everett. Travis Everett, a little bit of a struggle for him tonight through the first half of the race. This guy is a driver who is typically up inside of the top 5 pretty comfortably. Same with the likes of Scott Matthews. So it's not funny, but at the same time it is, to see two drivers of such good caliber struggling at right around the same position on the track as Travis Everett. Going to come out of turn 4 with a little bit too much mustard. He is going to slap the wall and into turn 1. Is going to compromise basically his entire lap and maybe compromise his defense from Scott Matthews.
You know, Travis Everett did turn the fastest lap that last time by. I think he's in there for the long haul.
Well,
I'm used to seeing Travis Everett up there as well. Oh, as we got the 9 going down, looks like he was loose off of turn 4. But I think Travis Everett's definitely going to be up there when the dust settles.
yeah, he has a very good chance of doing it. He's got a very good chance of getting himself Brad Harris's position. This is going to be a battle for P7, but he can't dread and he can't drool on it too long because Scott Matthews in that number 7, he did take that bottom line, but unfortunately he's going to get a little bit of oversteer coming out of turn number 4. And so now Travis Everett is all alone for the sake of better words. He does have 2 cars about a second behind him, but he is going to put Brad Harris on notice. And eventually Brandon McLaughlin, because Brandon McLaughlin's pace has dropped back as well. He now rivals Brad Harris instead of battling for a top 5 against John Smith.
Yeah, it won't be too much longer now. Everett here, he's going to be taking that position. He's starting to turn that that juice up just a little bit more. Oh, especially now with the these two guys right here of McLaughlin and Harris go side by side. You can see that brings Everett right up into the battle.
Yeah, and Everett wanting to get active fast. Brandon McLaughlin now suffering the Nate Lesko treatment. He's going to get stuck on the top side. He's just going to start leaking positions. It's happening so fast for the 81 driver. Travis Everett now has got past him, or actually no, Brandon McLaughlin does have a pretty good amount of pace coming off turn number 4. But Travis Everett is just going to eventually bully him out of this position. And Brandon McLaughlin's got to be careful. He's got to squeeze into the line at some point because there goes Matthews and there goes Adams. He's now side by side. Mustang on Mustang. 81 on 21. And the 21's going to get into the 7 of Scott Matthews. Scott Matthews has been turned and dumped into the wall. So the North Carolina driver might be seeing an early exit. As we'll go back and take a look. And you can see Scott Matthews there. Or not Scott Matthews, I apologize. Cody Adams getting a little loose. Same with Scott Matthews, and unfortunately, a little tap of the brake pedal from Scott Matthews to get his car set back was something that the 21 was not expecting. Brandon McLaughlin barely slides through like Reggie Bush at 05, getting through that gap. And unfortunately, Scott Matthews is going to have a very damaged front end to deal with.
Yeah, that's a hard hit right there coming from the 21 to the 7. So tough break there for Scott Matthews. But I did find out something there, Mac. Nate Lesko did not take any tires that previous pit stop. He only had a 6-second stop in his box, which is why he dropped so fast, because everybody else took tires, he did not. So now he's going to leapfrog them with the tires. He's going to have something for him now.
Yeah, he's going to have something for him. And he's got an extra set to play around with as well towards the end of the race if that does become some sort of a problem. As we see Nate Lesko, pulling into his pit box, getting 4 new tires.
Yep, and it looks like there's some guys out there that didn't take tires, and there's some guys that did take tires. So now, like, half the field's got fresh ones, half the field's got old ones. So we're gonna see. But Nate Lesko now, he's behind the 8 ball. He's got to get through these guys that's got old tires and get through these guys that's got fresh.
Yeah, so very, very interesting strategy coming out from the number 20 camp. Nate Lesko hoping to get himself a race victory here at Iowa. It would be a very good way to start this season off. 20 weeks, I mean, you've got to be very, very consistent, and you've got to be a very, very poised and hungry driver to get through a 20-week calendar racing at your best every single week.
Yeah, that's quite a bit, Mac. That's quite a bit of races that you've got to perform at your peak. Because if you have one good race and then 3 not so good races, that just outweighs your good race right there, because people's going to start leapfrogging you there in the points. You've got to be on your P's and Q's and be as consistent as possible.
Yep. I completely agree. So as it shakes out, looks like Michael Peden might be your current leader here. He had a 6-second pit time, so you know he didn't take any tires. Same with Brad Harris, Adolfo Castillo, and Casey Gross as well. So those drivers, your top guy that did take tires is going to be the 27 of James McRae. He has been everywhere towards the top of this race. We'll see what he can do with his tire advantage.
And it looks like he's going to be starting there on that inside in 3rd. So, yeah, he's got some fresh tires. I wouldn't push it early here. Let the temps come up naturally. I don't think it's going to be a hard job for him to get around these guys and go ahead and set pace. So we'll see. Here's the pace cars heading off.
Yeah, pace car heading off. Michael Peden will have the keys to this show. He's going to take it right in the middle of that Geico restart zone. Here we go. We are green. 83 laps to go here at Iowa. James McRae off to a very, very good run to start things off. He is going to be battling Michael Peden towards the end of this opening lap. Michael Peden going to secede the position. James McRae is your new race leader. Back behind, Brad Harris doing all he can in that number 9. He's gotten the unlucky problem of getting forced outside. He's got GT Irizarry on his inside as well. He's got a whole line of drivers that include Nate Lesko, Travis Everett, and the Quantum Motorsports driver, Adolfo Castillo. They're begging for position. Nate Lesko now starting to put the hurt on him.
Yeah, Nate's up to 8th now, but, you know, is that call of not taking tires last pit stop putting you way back there in the field, and then, you know, you've got to work your way all the way up through these guys and hope that you don't get wrecked or taken out while trying to, you know, run that strategy call.
Yeah, but he seems to be very, very fast now here as he ran, what was that, a 23.47 last lap, so that is going to rival the top guys. Brandon Lopez running your fastest that lap with a 23.05, now running a 23.15. So these guys, these top 8, 9, 10 guys, they're running all pretty much identical pace. It's just a matter of who can get the runs and who can hit the overtakes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, they're, you know, I wouldn't say they're nose to tail, but they're pretty evenly spread out. So I won't be surprised to see these guys actually start gapping one another once they start getting lined out here, probably in the top 10. I think we're going to be on a nice long green flag run here.
Yeah, which is not exactly what you would like to hear or think about if you're Nate Lesko. We said it towards the top of the broadcast. More of a short stint driver. He's very good at extracting the most pace out of that car inside of those first 10, 15, maybe 20 laps of the run. So if we do indeed go green, like Adam said, will that hurt Nate Lesko? There's only one way to find out. But John Smith in the 47 Chick-fil-A Chevrolet Camaro, part of Goldsboro, North Carolina. A lot of North Carolina drivers on this grid here tonight. He is going to work on the Red Bull number 5 of Brandon Lopez.
Yeah, he's gotten to his bumper there as GT Azari actually passed Brandon Lopez there. And GT Azari now up in the second position, and he's closing up on James McRae.
Yeah, he is making it very, very stressful for James McRae. 75 laps to go here tonight. We've crossed halfway. And the South Carolina driver now looking to do battle with the 27 Camry. And speaking of manufacturers, we've got it all in the top 5. We've got Toyota, Ford, and Chevy sitting in your top 5. 2 Toyotas in the form of James McRae and Nate Lesko. 2 Camaros in the form of Brandon Lopez and John Smith. And 1 lone Mustang. That is your guy in second place, GT Irizarry. And he is looking quick here tonight.
Yeah, he's the fastest on track right now. That last time by, he was not quite a tenth, but close to it there, faster than McRae. So he's definitely closing in, only 2 tenths back, a couple of car lengths.
Yeah, he is very, very close to getting up to the bumper of James McRae there. Another battling happening towards the back of your screen. You can see it there. Nate Lesko and Brandon Lopez. Brandon Lopez having himself a bad run of form here in the past 2 or so laps. Nate Lesko already putting a half-second lead on the guy he just overtook, Lopez, as he now looks ahead to John Smith.
He's still got a lot of ground to make up, though, here, Mac. He's about 2 seconds back from the lead. But passing these other guys, they've got some pace up in front of him. So
yeah, but
getting to him's one thing, pass them's another.
That is true. He did run on the not previous lap, but the lap before. He was a few tenths faster. That lap, however, his battle with Brandon Lopez slowed him down. He ran a few tenths slower than the top guys, James McRae and GT Irizarry. So with 69 nice laps to go, will we see Nate Lesko catch up? We're going to have one more stop as well, at least. These cars under 60% fuel load, I believe, so they are not going to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to stop one more time here if it stays green. I wouldn't mind some green flag pit stops here. I think that would be really fun, and we'll see who's got what it takes here to capitalize on that stop. But, you know, wishful thinking there, Mac, wishful thinking.
Yeah, and a very, very unique set of cars we're looking at here. This is going to be your P7 runner right now, league owner Chris Toppings, part of Quack Pack Racing. Billy Jordan and Chad Lancaster, all 3 of these guys are taking your top 3 spots for our biggest movers of the night. So it's going to be Chris Toppings up 20 positions. Billy Jordan is going to be up 18 positions, and Chad Lancaster in the 0-2, you see him driving by, he is going to be up 19 spots.
We got some guys that are moving up later in this race. I mean, I'm happy to see that. Chris Toppings moving up into 7th. You know, and Travis Everett, you know, we were talking about him earlier on in the show. He's now up to 6th. I told you, he's in here for the long haul. He'll be up there when the dust settles if things go his way.
Yeah, and taking a look at the weather as we take a look at our leader, James McRae. Track temperature is creeping down. It was around 96 to start this race. It now sits at 88 degrees Fahrenheit. So we are cooling down just a little bit as the sun has set. We are in the length of the night. 45% humidity. So that air is not going to feel very, very thick on these drivers, which is something really NASCAR doesn't really even consider. Humidity of the air when you go into it. It only costs a few hundredths, if not thousands. So prime weather here tonight, and as this track cools up and the rubber starts getting laid down, what are we going to start to see?
Oh, I think it's going to grip up a little bit more here. Now, over rubbered, you know, track usage there, in as far as the iRacing goes, starts to get a little slicker here. But as the track temp cools, I think that the times are going to get quicker.
Yeah, I personally agree with that as well. John Smith is hoping that that is also going to be what happens, because he is setting up and kind of sizing up GT Irizarry here. We move down to 62 laps to go. John Smith in that number 47 Chick-fil-A Camaro, trying his best on GT Irizarry, who has actually caught back up to our leader. It's been a reoccurring affair here in the race, but now GT Irizarry looks like he might be wanting to plant a move on James McRae.
Yeah, James McRae does, I can tell you right now, does not have the long run car that GT Irizarry has. I mean, you're looking at least a tenth and a half quicker each lap that GT is compared to James. So it's going to be a few laps here. I think James going to get booted out of the way.
Yeah, that is a very, very good point, and it's also a good point to bring up that John Smith is not choosing to battle GT Irizarry. He is just looking to stay behind and make up this room as they go.
And that's a smart call coming from John Smith. Very smart call. There's no sense in battling right now. You know, let GT Irizarry and James McRae battle it out here and capitalize on what's left after that battle, and we'll see. But right now, you're running third. There's no sense in trying to overheat your stuff, especially if it stays green. You're going to want that extra rubber late in this race.
Yeah. Very good wisdom coming from Adam Glatfelter there. We're going to have a spin, though. Commentator's curse. I was just about to say these guys were putting on one heck of a show for our top three. We'll go back and take a look. I'm sure you know what happened. It was all over the screen. I don't think any wall contact there. I think it was just natural oversteer from the corner.
Yeah, it looks like GT Irizarry went up, got tight right here, and then you'll see snaps loose. Gets loose. He loses all that momentum. John Smith has nowhere to go. Just a race against an end here. John spins him out. Yeah, no contact other than from the 47 to the 14. So he should be able to minimum damage, get that fixed, and get going. But GT's going to be behind the 8 ball now. He's going to be way back there in the back. He's got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, and not a lot of time to do it. 55 laps as it sits right now. And while we go into this caution, we'll go to a quick commercial break. Make sure to grab a drink, grab a snack, We will be right back with the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Cup Series.
The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Well, I hope you feel rehydrated. I hope you feel re-energized. I know me and my partner, Adam Glatfelter, do. This is Mac Nelson. You are watching the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Cup Series here at beautiful, and I mean beautiful, virtual Iowa here. New rescan of the track. If you're familiar with our first half of the race, it was a Nate Lesko and James McRae show. Now, pretty much everybody except your leader here, Brandon Lopez, is on fresh set of tires. And it is going to be an electric run here. Brandon Lopez gonna get set. He's probably going to lose these positions very fast. It's a very common thing in oval racing. I'm sure everybody watching at home knows this. But if you aren't on fresh tires, you are going to get gapped by the guys that do have fresh tires. But here we go, lap 123 of 175. Brandon Lopez starts us away, and we are back green.
Check this out. Nate Lesko looking underneath Ray. Oh, they go 3 wide here. For the lead.
Wide for the lead. Travis Everett going to get the heck out of Dodge. I don't quite blame him. James McRae in that 27 is going to be the benefactor of that transaction. However, Nate Lesko, he's hunting, man. He wants that top spot back.
And look at this. The dust is almost settled in there, Mac. And that 13, he's up to third.
Yeah, he has gotten every bit of position that Adam said he was going to get. He said he was going to climb up this grid, but we are unfortunately yellow flag again here at lap 126. As these drivers were just starting to get going, and we have to stop them again. We'll go back and take a look. It says Johnny Thunders. Oh, as the 69 of Adolfo Castillo is going to go right into him. Chris Topping, Scott Matthews going to get a little bit of collection there. As I want to go back and take another look at that. So I apologize for it being on the nose every single time we go to a replay. Scott Brokers also had a little bit of a crash. He is just going to get, well, just a little bit of a tap. Nothing too crazy. It looked like all the damage there besides the initial hit seemed to be pretty minimal.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, there was some gathering of cars there on that bottom, just trying to avoid, but I mean, it wasn't really bad damage. So
Yeah, I don't think they were moving exactly fast enough for it to really do a lot of lasting damage, but I'm sure we're going to see, yeah, we see 6, maybe 7 cars heading into the pits. Lopez, Harris, Irizarry, Peden, Matthews, Topping, Castillo, Broker, and Thunders, all heading to the pit lane.
will Lopez pit here? That's the question.
He certainly...
Or will he stay out? Because I mean, he made his bed and then it went back to caution. We're gonna strategize here.
I mean,
or are we gonna pit for tires?
It would seem like the strategy might be to take the tires. In my opinion, when you find yourself in this situation and you've gone an alternate strategy and something unforeseen has happened, like you getting collected, you having to go to the back, you know, whatever it may be, I would try to sync up to whatever strategy the current top guys are doing and try to do it as fast as possible.
Yes, you're exactly right. But Lopez wasn't involved in anything. He's running 10th now. I think he stayed out. Yes, he did. I can see him back there in that Red Bull car. So he did stay out. So he did make his bed. He's going to sleep in it for now. And he's going to have an extra set if it goes to a caution, you know, with about 25 to go. I think he's going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah, and even if, you know, say we go into overtime here and, you know, you're essentially, you can get a free pit stop, you might as well take the tires if you got them.
That's right.
But here we go. We're forming back up. The grid is shaping up 2 by 2 down all the rows. As your top 5 currently stands at McRae, Lesko, Everett, Jordan, and Pereira. So we will see how that changes, how that comes to be towards the end of the race here. We're only about 45 laps out. Lights are out on the pace car, so we will be going green at the end of this lap. With all of these cautions, I'm sure every bit of strategy has gone out the door for 90% of these drivers. But if there's one thing they know how to do, it's they know how to go left, and they know how to do it very, very quickly. James McRae will once again release the hounds into the field. We are green flag racing here at Iowa.
Curious to see what Nate Lesko and Travis Everett have for James McRae.
Yeah, James McRae currently looking like the top dog. However, the Nate Lesko number 20 Nesquick machine is going to try to silence those critics, silence those claims, and take himself to the top spot on the grid. And I mean, look at that. His car looks like it's on rails. He had such a good run into that car, that number 27.
Got to be careful here. We heat cycled these tires. He's going to be loose here coming out of 4. Just be nice and smooth on inputs. Get back up there. Just give it a couple of laps, and yeah, the 27 will come to him.
Yeah, and it looks like Travis Everett might have a little bit of a problem. Like you said, the heat cycle did go through those tires, but they are more prone to slip before they get up to temperature here. And it seems that out of 4, as you can see, the car just gets a little shaky coming out of 4, and I think that might be what's hurting his lap times.
Definitely is. I think he's just trying to keep it calm right now. He's got plenty of time still to make something happen. So let these 2 guys up here battle for the lead. Travis Everett's in the spot right where he wants to be.
Yeah, a little bit of a wall tap there from Everett, but now the 81 of Brandon McLaughlin and the 14 of GT Irizarry. It's a battle that's been happening all night long. It's the red and white of Irizarry battling the purple and yellow of McLaughlin. These two drivers proving they have winning levels of pace. The only problem is they're putting it all on display here for P4 instead of for the lead. So is this battle going to eventually hurt their chances of winning the race?
Very well could there, Mac. But yeah, GT up into 5th. I'm surprised that he's up that high just after that accident there.
Yeah, I would have to agree. He has made a very quick work of this grid here. He's got very, very good balance on the car. His weight transfer seems to be hitting in all the right places. His car never really seems to be too upset with him. As I was, kind of analyzing his car and the body language of his car going through that corner, it looks like he has got everything dialed in.
Yeah, we'll see here. He is on older tires than the other guys, so there, as he moves a little bit further up front, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for him, as he's having a hard time here with Brandon McLaughlin.
Yeah, the pace might be starting to fall off. Like you said, he is on those older tires. Jonathan Pereira just a few cars behind that Quack Pack Racing driver, trying to get by the number 02 of Chad Lancaster. Chad Lancaster, who a lot of the drivers of the Tobacco Road Next Gen Cup Series know, but if you're watching at home and this is maybe the first time you've seen this series be ran here on the Racer Nexus Broadcast Network, Jonathan Pereira is a very, very offensive driver. He is very, very aggressive. He keeps it clean. Oh, as unfortunately, Kyler Adams there in the 121 not going to keep it clean from the wall. Jonathan Pereira, very offensive. He is very on the limit with his car. You see him in the road courses. He is always late to find his brakes, and he achieves a lot of overtakes because of that. However, all of this wrapping around to the guy he's trying to take the position from, Chad Lancaster, has to be one of the best defensive oval drivers I have seen with my eyes. The way he is able to put the car in the perfect position to not give too much up and not be able to, lose the position there, as unfortunately John Smith is going to find his way down on the bottom of Chad Lancaster as I say that. But we'll see going into this battle, Adam. Hopefully I didn't jinx him, but you'll see how good of a defender he really is.
Yeah, he just makes his car really wide. I wouldn't say he's actually in the racing surface that the people around him are running, which is more the defensive move. He's kind of a half a car length up, which just really affects the car behind him. They have a tough time getting to him.
Yeah, and as that was happening, we do go yellow. Unfortunately, once again, the timing tower not going to say that anything really happened. We'll go take a look at Thomas McLaughlin. He did achieve an overtake for a position right before the yellow flag went out. And yeah, there it is. That's going to be the 121 of Kyler Adams, I believe.
It looks like
no,
Cody
it was the
Adams.
21. Yeah, sorry, it was the 21 of Cody Adams, not the 121 of Kyler Adams. That is the 21 Ford Mustang of Cody Adams. We'll rewind it here, as I'm not sure why the timing tower, the event, doesn't like to tell me when things happen. But yeah, just unfortunately coming down into the real estate that other car was using as the racing surface. That was a very, very unfortunate maneuver from Cody Adams, and stuff like that is going to get you sent into the wall.
Oh yeah, that's significant damage there for Cody Adams, and he was having a good night, so that may end it. Well, we've got a situation here. Brandon Lopez, remember he was playing that game, that strategy game. Well, guess what? We've got just 30 more laps remaining. Brandon Lopez, he's taking them tires.
He is going to take those tires, and we've got some drivers out here who did not opt to take any tires. Chad Lancaster, I'm not entirely sure if my timing tower is bugged or not, but it says he did not actually even stop in his pits. he apparently just drove completely through them, as he had a pit time of 0.00. We'll definitely be able to see when we go green and how his car reacts, if that is actually the case. However, Billy Jordan currently up 24 spots in P2, somewhere you don't normally see him. Well, it is because he didn't take tires on that last go. So he is going to have a very good starting position, but he is not going to have the good tires to see this race through. James McRae, Nate Lesko, the two cars behind him, they have taken tires, they have taken fuel, so these guys are locked in to the end. GT Irizarry, Travis Everett, Brandon McLaughlin behind them doing the same thing. So that leaves Chad Lancaster, Billy Jordan, Jonathan Pereira, and Thomas McLaughlin in your top 10 that have not taken tires.
Yeah, we've got some good, strong guys here, all matted up together here about, third with James McRae on back to, about Travis Everett here. So about 4 or 5 guys all matted up together. This is going to be an interesting restart here.
Yeah, this is going to be one heck of a show. As you'll see, some of the lucky dogs getting their laps back here. But with 30 laps to go, I wouldn't really say it matters all that much. It definitely could at the end of the day. However, these drivers seem to be locked in, especially your top 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. They have all seen a glimpse of the lead in some form or fashion here, but now we get down to the nitty-gritty, Adam, and at the end of the day, there could only be one race winner.
Absolutely. And, man, I'm going to have to go with Travis Everett here. He's just looking strong, and he's up there when it counts. So we'll see.
He is up there when it counts in the Racer Nexus chopper. As we go green, we're flying over him. We are green here at Iowa. Chad Lancaster going to choose to stay to this top side, but James McRae and Nate Lesko in the 27 and 20 respectively are down on the inside of Lancaster. They're going to bully him off the spot. The top 2 of this race is going to go to McRae and Lesko. And it looks like GT Irizarry might be trying to get a little bit of that cheese as well. He's going to try to squeeze to the bottom, and Chad Lancaster, we said it was going to happen. I didn't exactly think it was going to happen this fast, but now your top 3, Adam, are going to be the 3 dominant guys we've seen here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got you got Lesko, GT is Irizarry, Travis Everett. Man, those guys, they're all up in there now.
Yeah.
With just a handful of laps left.
Handful of laps left, and James McRae, who has obviously been, or not obviously, I was going to say who has been, debatably as dominant as Nate Lesko in this race. We're going to get to see 2 dragons fight here, and GT Irizarry, you cannot forget about him, the lone rogue who never seems to want to work with anybody on the racetrack. He is just there to get things done. And tonight would be an amazing night to start getting those things done in the career of GT Irizarry.
Yeah, if I was GT right now, I'd let these 2 guys battle out here up in front. They're going to slow them down. It's going to bring it right up to them. And then I'd try to capitalize on a pass here. But Nate Lesko, he's trying everything he can to get to the rear bumper of McRae.
Yeah, McRae doing a very good job of defending right now, and these top 3 drivers have created some sort of a gap back to the rest of the field. Travis Everett in that best of the rest 4th position, but he is battling it out with Brandon McLaughlin, the 2 Mustangs. Brandon McLaughlin with an insane run around the outside. He's just going to clear Travis Everett. And that's something you don't normally see here in Iowa, a run down the back straight, and he clears them by the time they take the next corner. What a run for the 81.
Yeah, Brandon McLaughlin definitely surprised me there with that move. I'm not sure where that grip came from, but if he keeps this up, he's going to be up there to the back bumper of GT. before you know it.
Yeah, that is something I definitely agree with. 23 laps left here. A little bit of a battle happening with Brandon Lopez and Billy Jordan. Billy Jordan, unfortunately, on those old tires. He was in second. He is going to move all the way back to P9 right now. Still 17 spots up. If he can finish in the top 10, that would be one heck of a day for the Quantum Motorsports driver. Brandon Lopez now looking to work his way on the man in the center of your screen right now, Michael Peden. He sits in P7. He started the race P6, so he's looking to get maybe just a little bit of something done. But John Smith and Travis Everett are having a battle here for P5.
Looks like there's a gap here between the 27 and the 20 for the lead. A few car lengths gap. James McRae, though, putting it down fastest on track like the last 3 or 4 laps. So definitely surprised to see this this much speed coming out of McRae versus Nate Lesko. Yeah, you know, early on in the show, we talked Nate Lesko was really, really good on early run pace, but man, McRae letting it all hang out.
Yeah, McRae has been dialed here tonight. Nate Lesko dominated the first half of this race, but I think the second half has been dominated by your driver right there. James McRae in the number 27 Cinema Roll Toyota Camry. He has had it all, and now the gloves are off. It was a completely fair fight here on that last restart. It was Lesko, it was McRae, and McRae getting the upper hand, and he's stretching that lead out a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's still consistently fast, or consistently faster over Nate Lesko each and every lap. So if this thing stays green, man, he might actually pull the win off here.
Yeah, what a fantastic night it would be for the number 27 driver if he were to do so. We'll find out here in about 10 minutes time. Do not go anywhere. This is the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Cup Series, brought to you by the Racer Nexus Broadcast Network. My name, Mac Nelson. Joining me tonight, Adam Glatfelter. We're proud, we're happy, we're excited that you could see the end of this race, week number 2 here at the newly rescanned Iowa. We're going to Kentucky next week, but for right now, James McRae has his sights set on the great state of Iowa because he is leading this race and he is stretching out the lead on Nate Lesko. Taking a look back, P5, John Smith working his way up on Brandon McLaughlin. A battle we've seen so many times here tonight. Brandon McLaughlin had some really good pace in the last few laps. Someone who does not really have all that great a pace right now is going to be Travis Everett, who you see in the back of this camera view of the side-by-side battle we're witnessing between the 81 and the 47. Brandon McLaughlin is going to hit the wall a little bit just right at the end of that straight. It's going to tinker with his entry speed a little bit, but that does mean, theoretically, he could get a little faster on exit, and that is going to be the case. These guys are side-by-side. Brandon McLaughlin has loved the high line all night, but tonight, right now, it is not going to work as John Smith is going to keep this spot coming up on 12 laps to go next time by.
And John Smith with that momentum, man, to get around the 81 of Brandon McLaughlin. How about that? I mean, he's close. He's close to GT right now. Yeah. As you see GT there hit the wall there coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, I was going to say GT hitting the wall. That is not going to be the best thing for him. As now we go on board with James McRae. And Nate Lesko chasing him down. Will ride on board for a lap around Iowa with Nate Lesko chasing down James McRae. It almost puts you in a trance hearing the smooth sound of that Next Gen NASCAR. But Nate Lesko, that first lap, we went on board with him heading into turns number 3 and 4. He had a way better run, actually had to check himself up to not run into the back of the 27. So Nate Lesko, he's all over it when it comes to the pace to catch up to him, but will he have fast enough pace to actually overtake the car?
You know, I hate to say this, but one little bump from Nate Lesko could secure him with the lead.
Yeah, it very well could, and if we come down to the last lap, we might see that in action. As the number 3 of Scott Broker on the inside there, having a little bit of engine trouble with that number 3 Camaro. Coming down to 7 laps to go. Your usual suspects are battling, but for right now, we'll stick with the lead. You can see in the back of the camera view, GT Irizarry getting chased down by John Smith, Travis Everett, and Brandon McLaughlin are trading positions. Back and forth we go. 6 laps to go. The number 5 of Brandon Lopez and the 24 Michael Peden, they might want to insert themselves into this conversation.
We've got a battle here for third. John Smith on the outside of GT Irizarry.
Oh, yeah, they're going to make contact. Yeah, so it's Chick-fil-A 47 on the 14 of GT Irizarry. It's going to be a very hard-fought battle. John Smith is going to get that position. We'll take a closer look one time here real quick around turns number 3 and 4. GT Irizarry had the bottom line. They make all that contact, but John Smith is just going to come out with more momentum after that, and he's going to make the move stick. And now we head on 4 laps to go, and look at this, Adam. McRae has built a lead.
Yeah, 4/10 lead over Nate Lesko. How about that? Man, where'd this long run pace come from? And he's fastest on track right now.
He is fastest on track. James McRae putting something special together here in the latter half of this race. Can he hold on for what's coming up on 2 more laps to go? So 2 laps left to go. You hear a car revving itself in the pit. Maybe a little bit of engine trouble. I do believe that is the 3 of Scott Broker. Maybe also Adolfo Castillo, who is in the pits. 2 laps to go. We're heading around the embankment through turn 4. White flag is in the air. James McRae had a whole ton of good luck heading his way at Daytona. Unfortunately, the ultimate decision was it was not going to be a night for James McRae. But here tonight at Iowa, after starting the race not exactly in the best spot, latter half of the race, he dominates and brings home the win here at Iowa. Nate Lesko, P2. John Smith getting the better of GT Irizarry, bringing it home, P3. GT Irizarry, P4. Travis Everett, after a night of ups and downs, he is going to finish P5. And what seemed like a whole entire episode of trials and tribulations for Brandon Lopez, the Raleigh, North Carolina driver, brings it home, P6 in that number 5 Red Bull.
And how about that performance from James McRae? That Toyota Camry really enjoyed that clean air. Once he was up there, he just kept it.
Yeah, he kept it indeed. It was one heck of a show. It was an incredible scene here to watch. And he deserves all the burning down he can do here with his number 27 Camry. Burnouts up to the flag stand. Barney, our official iRacing flagman, not phased whatsoever. And what a night it has been for racing here at Iowa. Adam, it's your first time seeing the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Series for this season. What'd you think of it?
Oh yeah, man, solid competition this season. I'm gonna look forward here to see who's gonna bring home the championship after 20 races. But man, this field is stacked, slap full of talent. We had a few more cautions than they would have liked, but man, oh man, just solid performance tonight by all these guys.
Yeah, it was indeed that. And I do want to get some guys up into the booth for some interviews. I mean, these drivers definitely deserve it. First guy up, as I unfortunately do not have permissions to move anybody into the broadcast channel. That is very, very unfortunate. As I apologize for that, guys. We're going to try to get that sorted here real quick. As we go to Kentucky next week, going to be a very, very exciting race. We'll be there. And, you know, you can't really compare it. I was going to try to compare it to Iowa, but you can't really compare anything to Kentucky Speedway.
No, Kentucky's a beast of his own. You just thought Iowa was tough? Go there to Kentucky. Now that's a tough track. You know, it's a little sharper corner there in 1 and 2, and more open in 3 and 4. So you get a nice tight feel, loose feel in 1 and 2, and tight in 3 and 4.
As we get Boss
Mac,
Man.
you're good to go.
All right, appreciate you, Chris Toppings, league owner there. W. Chris. We appreciate that. Coming up into the booth first is going to be your P3 finisher, John Smith. John, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
It was a very chaotic race. There were a lot more cautions than I'm sure you would have wanted. But walk me through that, last 35 lap run, and walk me through that battle with GT Irizarry for third. And, just give me the frame of mind. Walk me through it.
Oh, man, racing with GT is a lot of fun. We did a few recruitment practice races with him, and it's always fun racing around him. He's aggressive but knows how to handle the car, so I respect that a lot. I actually thought I got into him a little bit more when we got into each other, but he told me that he got a little tight. But yeah, it's fun racing with him. I appreciate guys like that. And but yeah, I was just trying to save a little bit all night. Kind of started back a little bit further and didn't want to burn my stuff up, and just see where it went. And that caution came out in lap 140-ish and kind of messed up my whole strategy. I had enough fuel and tires to get to the end on a green flag and thought I had a long run car to do it. But yeah, just at the end, just had to try to send it. But two guys up front, I think McCray and Lesko, just a little too fast.
Yeah, well, you were here at Iowa tonight. You were clearly on top of the car. You were dialed in. I mean, you finished P3 on the night. But next week, we're heading to Kentucky. What's that going to be like for you? And is that somewhere you're excited to kind of get the gloves off and go racing? Or is that somewhere you're not really looking forward to?
Kentucky's hit or miss. I don't really consider myself a short-term speed guy. I don't have a lot of good short run, but long run's kind of where I thrive at. And if there is short run there, I know I'm terrible at Kentucky on the short, but long run I can kind of save a little bit more, and hopefully the race comes to me. Kind of the game plan. But I mean, Kentucky's always hit or miss for me, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, we're going to let you get out of here and celebrate Mr. John Smith. But before we do, the floor is yours, man. Who do you want to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
Yeah, first shout out Nap Daddy Racing on Engine 4 Coffee. My spotter, Hunter Foley, who was spotting for me and my two teammates, Brandon Lopez and Thomas McLaughlin tonight. Shout out to the admins putting on the league and the guys up front racing me clean tonight, and fun, aggressive racing, and you guys up in the booth for doing the broadcast for us.
Well, we appreciate the kind words from the number 47 driver, John Smith. You finished third here tonight, man. Go celebrate, and hopefully we'll see you next week at Kentucky.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Good words from our third place finisher, but I believe Adam is down there in the pits, and he has our second place finisher, Nate Lesko.
How's it going,
Yes,
guys?
sir. Nate, how we doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty
Man, hey, there's no speed like Nate Lesko speed. Woo!
good. Yeah. Man, I thought no one was much faster than the other. I thought we were all pretty comparable. So, just came up one short. I think I got a cycle on the pit stop and came out behind James. But he definitely could pull away immediately.
Yeah, that clean air was key there for the leader. And I seen you play a little bit of strategy role there early on in the race without taking any tires. You dropped back to 15th or so. I'm guessing just to make sure you had an extra set here in case something did happen. But man, nice job recovering all the way back up, getting through that traffic. That was hectic. We watched it, watched some traffic back there in the battles, 10th to 15th, and it was tough back there. So for you to make it all the way back up to second, that's something to be proud of there.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's fun. It's fun. It's always fun when you have the fresh tires coming up through the field and you're able to make those passes. But no, it was a blast.
Well, question is, how are we feeling about Kentucky? Is that your cup of tea, or we not really excited about it?
I like Kentucky. I'm a fan of the mile and a half. Just where you can roll the corners. I get them mixed up with Kansas, but yeah. I feel like it's comparable to, let's say, Charlotte or something where you can just roll the bottom of the corner. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we can do well.
And four. And if you got any shout outs, we'll get those and send you on your way.
Chris Toppings, running this thing, Tobacco Road. I enjoy racing. I got the tail end of last season. I did a few races, really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to this whole season. So I appreciate those guys.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a long season. So buckle up and yeah, race number 2 of 20. So you got 18 more to get up there in the championship running.
All right. Or one of these we got him. So, all right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too.
So, words there, good words from your P2 finisher, Nate Lesko. Up in the booth now with us is going to be your race winner here tonight, James McCrae, driving the number 27. James, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm a bit calmer now. My heart rate was through the roof.
I'm sure it was. And Nate Lesko, someone who he just said he's not too, new here, but he's also not a seasoned vet. He caught the tail end of last season, and now he has been a very, very quick figure in this season. So being able to hold him off like that, how did it feel?
Oh, it was doing it or completing the task was it feels really great, but while doing it, it was kind of terrifying. Just nervous the whole time. Because I knew he was quick. There's lots of guys in here that was quick tonight, and it was at the whole night I didn't really feel like I was the fastest long run or anything. But I just kept getting saved by cautions.
Yeah, I mean, you say saved, but it ultimately netted you a race win here tonight. And I wanted to kind of pick your mind about that. With all those cautions, is that something that, I mean, I guess you kind of indirectly answered it, but on any given racetrack, is that something you like? Do you like the short run, or are you more of a long-term, long race kind of guy?
I'm usually a long run kind of guy. Luckily, we had the last recruitment race, 2 weeks ago here at Iowa, and I was able to join that. So, just using that, the knowledge I picked up there of knowing that I just for some reason can't save here, I don't know. I just kind of betted it on the short run.
Yeah, well, I mean, your bet's laid in the right spot. You're walking out of here a winner, and we're going to let you celebrate that accordingly. But before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Yeah, Chris and the admin team, for putting this on. You guys for broadcasting. I always love going back and watching. Um, JC Sports, the guys there. It was fun hanging out tonight. And yeah, then just my mom and my girlfriend out there watching, and yeah, everyone else who's watching.
Well,
Thanks for all the support.
very, very good and kind words there from your race winner here at Iowa, James McRae. James, we'll let you celebrate. Hopefully, as this season goes on, we get to talk to you more and more in the booth.
Hopefully so.
So, Adam, that's going to do it for us here tonight at Iowa Speedway. It was one heck of a show, and it was one heck of a race.
Yes, sir, it was. Hey, real quick before we get out of here, man, appreciate you letting me hop in the booth with you tonight. Old seasoned veteran of Mac Nelson up here in the broadcast booth. Man, it was an absolute honor to call this race with you tonight, and also give a shout out to Chris Topping and the other admins there at Tobacco Road and Racer Nexus, for allowing me to do this.
Yeah, well, hey, man, the honor is all mine. I'm not exactly a seasoned vet yet, but hey, I like that I put off those kind of vibes. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from the great Iowa Speedway here, recently rescanned on the iRacing official service. This has been a Racer Nexus broadcast. If you'd like your league broadcasted, please go down in the video description below. We can get you set up on that. As well as, if you'd like to join the league here, Tobacco Road, their Discord is also in the video description below. You can check them out. Big shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com. They provide all the car and track cameras here that you see on the Racer Nexus broadcast. Big shout out to Apex Sim Racing as well. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off on any sim racing accessories you get out on that website. Guys, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one next Wednesday at Kentucky here in the Tobacco Road Sim Racing Next Gen Cup Series. Have a wonderful night. Don't get snowed in too hard, because I know the Midwest is about to get hit with some crazy stuff. Have yourselves a wonderful night.